Hello and welcome to the Tongue of the Trees. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and this is what is Coriander Essential Oil good for? Well, it's one of my favourite oils, I have to say. We're going to be taking the information from two sources. First of all, we're going to be using the cards, the Tongue of the Trees cards. And if I show you it in the booklet, it'll come up on the screen anyway. And we can see beautiful yellow, and the key word is receptiveness. So what does that mean? Well, we'll go deeply into the emotional, the mental and the spiritual in the next video. You can find the link below. But right now we're going to talk about the physical aspects of the essential oils. How do we use it for first aid? Because essential oils are wonderful on that level, but of course they go so much deeper too. So I'm going to take the physical medicine from my book. If you would like to download this for free on Amazon or iTunes or any of the other ebook platforms, fantastic. It is available for free, although it's also designed as a fantastic notebook for you to write loads and loads of notes in. Please write all over it. That's how I designed it. So coriander is made from the seed, is important to know. And coriander is a really fascinating plant because, you know, like the plant itself, the herb, when I eat it, it's all zingy and it's one of my very favourite tastes. I love it, and I make it. I used to make loads and loads of teas for cricket teams. I used to do 4 cricket teams, and I used to make a salad. It was adapted from Delia Smith's, I have to say. She calls it like a Mexican salsa salad. But it very quickly got the name of sexy salad because it's tomatoes, coriander, lime and red onion. And actually, you'll know it comes up in, if you get the cards, you'll notice the salad comes up in the actual poem. It became very famous for my sexy salad. I love the zingy sharpness of coriander, but my husband can't stand it at all. He says it tastes like soap. And since then I've found out that there is actually an enzyme that you either have got or you have not got, that means that you taste it nicely or it tastes like soap. So clearly Daryl is deficient. He is incomplete. He's not the real deal, because coriander is beautiful, but this is taken from the seed. And it's got this beautiful earthy fragrance, and it's very, very comforting and just reassuring and cosseting. I love coriander oil. So the historical successes of using the essential oil have included digestive, flatulence, and then, so I would say it's carminative as well. So carminative means that it relaxes the smooth tissue of the stomach. So I haven't put that in the notes, but so whereas you might get like a griping sensation, it's relaxing to the system. So things like colic, that sort of thing. It's extremely useful if somebody has anorexia, because it has that improves the appetite, but also makes you feel just more reassured as well. You know, if you've got that feeling of being controlled by your appetite, then coriander is really, really soothing. It's analgesic. It's also specific for neuralgia, so I would use it with rosemary for that, for any kind of nerve pain, for nervous stability. So if somebody has been suffering from long-term stress for a long time and their health starts to wane, and they become depressed, anxious, worn out, chronic fatigue, that kind of thing, all is treated beautifully with coriander seed. And also rheumatic pain, because it has this lovely warming nature, and there's something about it that makes you just feel more robust. It feels like you have been completed. So I was only kind of half joking when I was saying that, like, Daryl is incomplete. As soon as you use a coriander seed, it feels like something that was missing is put back. It's a strange sensation, but it's really comforting. So how do you use coriander essential oil? I would use it topically, so in creams, in lotions, in ointments, in baths, and also as inhalation. And if you go on to buy our subscribe to our monthly recipe hub, there are recipes this month on ways to use them, any number of those ways. So 5 ways to use coriander: digestive, particularly nervous digestive. So if somebody has IBS, for example, and you have this sort of reaction to stress in their life, and then suddenly their bowels have gone awry again, it's very good for kind of going and calming everything down. For aches and pains generally, but psychologically it really helps you initiate things. So, you know, if you've got these ideas in your head and you kind of feel like, oh, but, you know, am I getting a bit ahead of myself, and I don't know if my ego is big enough to sustain doing this, coriander says, you know what, why don't we give it a try, and gets it off that beginning. And you know, every journey begins with one step, isn't it? And it's that first step, just having that first step to kind of go, right, I'm going to give it a go. It's very good for that. It's emotionally balancing and very pragmatic. So we're not talking dreamlike stuff. It's not Titania and the fairies. It's very much, right, okay, this is what we're going to do. A, B, C, let's do it. If you have got something missing and something holding you back, it'll make you kind of go, right, well, we need that qualification, or we need that piece of equipment, and give you that, rather than sort of allowing it to be an excuse. Coriander says, so what we're going to do, you know, jigsaw piece. One of the things I find it most useful for, those of you who don't know, my specialist area is pain. I am fascinated by the way that the mind influences pain, and I teach aromatherapists how to be pain practitioners, to look at all the different things that can make pain worse, whether that be posture, diet, things that are going on in the head, cognition, lots of different things. One of the aspects of cognition that we see is how somebody becomes dependent on their drugs. And for long-term pain, for chronic pain, you shouldn't take an opioid. They don't work. And it's very easy to get hooked on them. And the problem that we have is that the opioid receptors set up further pain, so that you take more and then you become hooked, but then it makes you take more, and so it's not in the body's best interest to get rid of the pain. So the doctors will tell you they're not supposed to prescribe opioids for long-term pain, but it becomes a cycle of thinking, well, you know, they've given me the very strongest drugs and it hasn't made any difference to me, so why would what you can do make a difference? And if you're doing proper aromatherapy, and I'm not talking about just using essential oils, I'm talking about understanding the condition from the root up and looking at the person's health holistically, you know, what's going on emotionally, what's going on physically, what's going on at home, you know, are they being nourished in a way that is physically good, is spiritually good, and looking at everything. Is their spine aligned? All of those things. So when you're treating somebody as an aromatherapist over and above a bottle of essential oil, then it's a complex thing, you know. But part of the most important thing that you must be able to do is be a salesperson. And I use that word because I don't mean going out and getting the sales. I mean to sell it to the person that they have to give this a try. There has to be a buy-in. There has to be a belief of taking that first step forward into their new regime and doing the journaling, doing the food diary, buying the new office chair to make sure their posture's correct, all of those things. And naturally, a person who has been in pain for a long time, who has been down the road of going to the doctors, and the doctor's run out of ideas, he will say he's run out of ideas. It must be all in the mind. He doesn't mean it that it's, you know, you're imagining it. It means that your thoughts are creating this paradigm, and that's true. So to get that buy-in from the patient or the client, coriander is extremely good at being able to say, let's take this step, let's do this, let's just try and give it a chance. Maybe, just maybe, drugs might not be the only way. And because it's a seed, seeds are all about the growth of ideas, and so we are planting a seed, a new way of life with them, that they might think, well, okay, it's going to take a little while for it to germinate, but I am going to give it a chance. And not only am I going to give it a chance, I will nurture it. I will do the things that she's telling me that you can do, because I've seen that she has payoffs with other people before. So coriander is a really important oil from that point of view. So, and you can see now how it becomes extremely useful for rheumatism and arthritis, which are long-term things that people have had for a long time and have just lived with, you know, come to accept that this is part of the reality. But maybe it's not the reality. Maybe their reality can be changed. If ever an oil can persuade somebody of that, very quietly, very calmly, very much in a masculine fashion. Don't underestimate the power of a bloke speaking instead of a woman speaking. It's masculine power. There's authority. I hate to say it, but the patriarchy still rules, and people believe men more than women. So using a masculine oil is extremely helpful there. So let's see, what's it say? So in our next video then, we are going to talk about the emotional side, how we can use it to support mental health, how we can use it in our spiritual journey and our spiritual practices. What's the main essential oil, that's the main chakra that's associated with the essential oil, and how would we specifically use it? More important perhaps is the safety. Is it a safe oil to use specifically for pregnancy, for children, for cats, for dogs, for contraindications with medicines? We'll look at all of that. And then lastly, Gagley will tell us how he goes about blending coriander essential oil. So have a look in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk about what is coriander essential oil good for the mind, body, spirit, and safety and blending. See you on the other side.
You get your phone and turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications, and then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos, and there will be comments, and if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gagli, and then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.